Us for the 7 Habits for Effective Farmers webinar series, business planning and record keeping. Before we get started, I want to introduce Hal Pepper with Center for Profitable Ag. He will be helping me facilitating this webinar. And we might encounter some internet difficulties, but finger crossed that we're not going to. But just in case it happens, that please don't panic. We'll get it fixed as soon as possible. And we greatly appreciate the support provided by USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture and the Southern Risk Management Education Center to help make this series possible. To help report the impact of this webinar, I will ask you to complete a brief online evaluation of the session at the end. The link to the evaluation was included in the email I sent to you earlier, and I will post it in the chat box for you at the end of the session. And just a few housekeeping items. Please leave your microphone on mute and video off during the session. If you would like to locate the chat box right now, it should be on your right-hand side of the screen. Please type your name and location into the box right now to help me record attendance. You may use the chat box at any time during the session to submit a question. I am recording the session right now and plan to post it online. So if you like to share with anybody and if you like to view it later, you're welcome to do so. Okay. All right. So we know that people with written goals are significantly more successful than people without. I want to encourage you to jot down some goals about how you can use this information during the session. So if there are no questions at this time, let's dive into this today's session, business planning and record keeping. That will be our habit 1. Okay. So ahead of planning, ahead of the production year, it's a good idea to evaluate your operation in the 7 key areas of the farm management. To be able to succeed as a farm enterprise, half of the equation is production skills. And many of our farmers excelled in production and find passion in farming. And other half of the equation is management. This is the part our typical farmers find it less exciting and probably need more help from. So this webinar series are going to concentrate on improving farmer skills in this half of the pie, and I call it Iris's pie of farm success. So just a little bit overview of what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about what is business planning, why we do business planning, and how we're going to do it. And I'm going to introduce a little bit, a brief introduction of record keeping, and I'll list all the resources at the end of this presentation. Okay. So what is business planning? It is the process of setting goals, developing a plan to achieve these goals, and putting the plan into action. It sounds so very easy, but a lot of farmers are intimidated by writing the business plan, and sometimes they rather give up low interest opportunities or grant opportunities than writing their business plan. So why do I need a business plan? Everybody's talking about I do need one, but why do we need a business plan? Sometimes it's required from your lenders or investors. For example, if you haven't heard of USDA Farmer Service Agency, I would encourage you to locate your local office of USDA FSA office. They provide low interest loans for farmers, especially socially disadvantaged farmers or beginning farmers. So do that. Or it's requested by investors or your partners. For example, you're thinking about starting a new business, for example, an industrial hemp business, and you will need partners or investors. You want to put your vision into a plan to show them what you want to do and what you want to achieve. And then it's also mandatory for grant application. Here in Tennessee, we have so many great opportunities offered by the Tennessee Department of Agriculture that producers can apply for. For example, the Tennessee Agricultural Enhancement Program, TAEP for short. So what it is a cost share program for our farmers to either purchase livestock equipment or, for any farm enterprise, for example, vegetables or agritourism, and it can cost share up to 50% of your total cost, up to $15,000. So if you don't know what this is, I will attach all this link at the end of the presentation. And if you still have questions, just locate your local extension office and let them help you to apply for it. And then we have another Tennessee Agriculture Enterprise Fund. It is a funding opportunity for agriculture enterprise, especially in the rural, financially distressed counties. And then the National Farmers Veteran Coalition also offer a fellowship fund for farmer veterans. So these are all the great opportunities for farmers that you can apply for, and they all require a business plan. So I know that we got participants from Kentucky, from other states. I'm not sure about the grant opportunities over there, but please locate your extension office or the USDA local offices in your county. And you can ask them about the opportunities. And also, so the business plan also reflects how well you can plan, organize, and market. It serves as an operational guide for you for the business as well. So now we know why we need a business plan. Consider the 4 core questions. What, who, how, and where. So what service or products does your business provide? Whether it's fresh fruit or vegetables, jelly and jams, or pick your own operation. And who are your potential customers? Are they going to be young families who want fresh and healthy food for their family? Or they're going to be millennials that are very health conscious and want to know where their food come from? Or chefs that prefer to use local produce? And how you're going to reach your customers. That is basically the marketing plan. Many are very successful with advertising through social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube videos, or through farmers market or chef networks. A detailed and comprehensive marketing plan, it is one of the most significant tools to succeed. And later we will have a detailed lecture concentrate just on marketing. And last but not least, where you're going to get the financial resources to start your business. And don't be afraid to borrow money. The conversations I had with couple beginning farmers or vegetable growers, they sometimes express that they're not willing to borrow money from lenders. Sometimes I understand that it is kind of stress on a lot of people, but a loan can help the cash flow of an operation and extremely helpful when you're trying to expand your current capacity. And then I'm showing a whiteboard here. Either you can have it on a wall or on a whiteboard, a blackboard, just to have your ideas in like in couple notes, and just stick your notes onto whatever you have and visualize your business plan of your daily operation as well. So what do you want to do first is to write down the core value of your operation. And for this example, that this producer want to produce certified organic produce and processed, canning and preserving and serving the good quality produce to the local community. And the other question is who I'm going to sell it to. For example, restaurant chefs, young families, single professionals, or environmental and health conscious people. And then how I'm going to reach these customers, through what channels. That will be our marketing plan. Through local newsletters, local newspapers, radio, or advertise it on social media such as Facebook, Twitter, or Snapchat, all great tools. And then you want to consider how to keep this relationship. After you reach your customers, how are you going to keep them to become your regular customers? Is it going to through like email groups, tell them what is going on your farm? Are you going to provide them loyalty cards or coupons? Or what are some events going on or will happen on your farm that you can engage your customers in your operation? And one idea just popped in my head right now, just an idea that if you share your Facebook post with the group that following you, and just to say to them that if you share my post, you get 50 likes or 100 likes, whatever, snap a picture of that and I'll give you a $1 or $2 coupon. I just thought that would be something that you may can try, see if we'll be successful. And then who's going to be your key partners? That is extremely helpful to help the marketing. Is it going to be your local farmers market associations? Do you have a good relationship with them? And do you know any restaurant chef networks that they like to gather up, and you may want to connect to that group? And community leaders, basically who has a lot of connections, so they can help you to advertise your current operation. And if you are doing wholesale, grocery stores will be your partners as well. And then consider your revenue streams. Where are you gonna get your income from? For this example, we're going to have income from selling fresh fruit and veggies, processed fruit and veggies, and also maybe a cookbook that you're going to produce for customers. And just for our most of us on this webinar probably are value-added producers, and that's very good. So we have a diverse revenue stream. And just for example, the dairy farms these days, they're under a lot of stress because the low milk price, and many of them have been going out of business and continue to go out of business. And because the revenue stream for them, it's just only from milk receipts. But with our value-added producers, that's a good advantage because one revenue stream, if that doesn't work out, you have several that support the cash flow of the business. And then the key resources is so important for farmers. For example, the land. And just for beginning farmers, it is really hard for us these days to find a good land, desirable like farmland for you to purchase. And especially here, I'm located in Middle Tennessee, and especially around the Middle Tennessee area, that because the urban development, it's extremely hard to find reasonable priced farmland. So skilled labor, this is a continuous hard question for all our farmers nationwide. Are you able to find labor, and are they skilled enough to help you with the production? And can you keep the skilled labor? This is all very hard questions for our farmers. And then what are some key activities on your farm? Probably, more than half of your time you're doing the production side, growing vegetables or fruits, and a lot of time you're spending gonna be on marketing. So especially for value-added producers, you need to reach your customer base. So have a good marketing plan. It's really important. And then the cost structures. You want to know, so this is basically the budget part. You want to know how much you spend on seed, on plants, on equipment repairs, or on packaging, labeling, transportation, fuel and oil. You want to have a good breakdown of your budget. And this is our second topic that Les is going to discuss more about the budget part in the next session. And any part of the chain broke down, it won't function in the most efficient way. So be sure to have something like this. Hopefully it will help you and help your daily operation. So after you have that developed, talk to others and ask questions. Sometimes we're just stuck. We need a break. We need to talk to others, see if they have other ideas for you and help you succeed. And study your market. For example, like the chefs constantly asking for new, different things, and just study what your customers want and be able to keep on top of that and develop and like provide those service or products to your customers as they change. And be honest with yourself when evaluating ideas. This is so important. I talk to a lot of beginning farmers. They have all this crazy, great ideas. And the hot topics we hear today, the extension office, we hear hemp, we hear microgreens, we hear hydroponics. I mean, all of these ideas are great. But one problem with all of them is the marketing part. Do you already have a marketing plan in place? Who are you going to sell it to? It is great if you can sell the microgreens like $20 per pound to chefs. But are you going to sell to only one chef? Or you see I'm saying, like, you need a marketing plan. You can produce how much you want just for one production cycle, but do you have somebody in place that willing to buy your products? So be honest with yourself when evaluating these great ideas. Don't just hear that on TV, or you're going to make $50,000 per acre to growing hemp. Do your own research and be honest. Can you make it happen? And reject a strategy if it doesn't work on paper. And ask for feedbacks from family. And a lot of times we call it farm families. That's simply because your family is your best resource. They are your best employees. Sometimes they don't ask for returns. So it is important that they are willing to help you and in this together. So ask for feedbacks from your family. And then we're going to talk about develop the business plan. First, you want to determine the core values that will serve as the foundation of the business. It's just imagine it like a tree. You want to develop the root first. And then you want to think about the structure of your business. Whether you're going to be a sole proprietorship or partnership or LLC. And to choose the structure, it depends on what your needs are. And there's an online worksheet available developed by SARE. It's a USDA grant branch, but I will attach this link at the end of this session. And this online worksheet can help you to choose what is the structure. It has several questions to lead you to the answer. What structure is right for your business? And then we're going to need a SWOT analysis. What that is, just to analyze your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And it's very important to know what your strength is. In many of our farmers, we are good at producing products, but sometimes we're weak in business planning. And knowing that, how to improve that, do you need to employ some other people to help with you on that part? And what are your opportunities? So the farmers market are not selling this or that, and that's like a trend that you picked up. That's some opportunities there. And what are some threats? Do you have a neighbor that producing the same thing like you? And how you can analyze these threats and become your advantage in the future, let you stand out. It's all very important. And then a timeline. With SMART goals, you got to have goals. Be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. What that means is that have a timeline. For example, by the end of 2019, I'm going to spend $20,000 to get all my equipment or blah, blah, blah. By 2020, it's going to be my first production round. I want to have a revenue $20,000 by selling these vegetables, how much dollars per pound. Just have a realistic plan and a measurable plan. So at the end of the year, did you achieve your goals? Or were you estimating and realistic? And just you can come back to adjust and keep monitor your business plan and adjust year after year. And then have a marketing plan is really important, like I mentioned before, and the financial plan. A financial plan extremely helpful for showing your lenders or investors this is what you want to achieve. For example, maybe a 3-year cash flow projection is extremely helpful for them to understand where you want to go. And probably people going to ask, this is a question I often get, so how many pages do I need to write a business plan? There's no right answer for that. For example, some people say that you only need a 2-page or you only need a 1-page business plan. That's okay as long as you include all this information and you're going to be precise and just write on the dots. So 2 pages is really good for you when you're applying for example, when I was on a a fellowship application committee, I want to see the 2-page business plan because I don't want to read a 50-page simply just because I don't have that much time. Or you see what I'm saying? Like, so 2-page, if you have the precise information that needed, that's good. But I've seen 50 pages business plan for an acre farm, and they have all this detailed analysis. And that's good because that serve as an operational guide for them to know their strength, their weakness, and the detailed analysis of their partners or their competitors. So it just all depends, what do you want to achieve with your business plan? Okay, so this is a great tool online for you. If you haven't got your business plan yet, Google search Eggplan. This is a free online tool for create a business plan. It's developed by University of Minnesota. It's very easy to use, and they have samples to learn from, and you can edit online at any time. Let me just stop sharing the screen right now and show you what it looks like. Okay, can you see my screen of the Eggplan?
We see your slide for Eggplan.
Okay, let's see, stop sharing. Here we go. All right, so all you need to do is to create a username, a password, and after that, just sign in, hit the start new plan. If you're going to be a value-added enterprise, hit value added and just name something. Say 7 habits. Create the plan. And you can go back to edit at any time. So you will see it's broken down by chapters on the left, a cover page, that's the first chapter. And down here, if you don't know what information you want to put in there, there are samples down here. So if you see organic vegetable production samples, or here is an orchard sample. So you can create your own farm label, your address, your name, the date, and then the chapter goes into business description. See all the samples down here. It's so helpful for people to do it. And here, like all this great examples. This is the goals. See, like generating $10,000 from vegetable sales. It's measurable. And then you see the other chapters. So you don't have to fill in all the information in each category. Just fill in the most important information that is to you, to your business. And location, facilities, ownership structure, and the marketing plan. See right here, do you have some contracts, partners? What is your pricing? And all these great examples down here to help you know that what information you need to put in there. And then we just want to show the financial plan really quick. The financial projections by this sample, it's so great. So it is projected income statement showing a 3-year cash flow projection. And it is great for your lenders. It's just right there. It's great for applying a grant. So this is really useful. And when you're ready, you can just save it here, click save, and it will save online for you. And whenever you like to print, just click the print button. So that is some great information. And you can just go back anytime to edit when you have some idea. Let's see. And going back to my presentation. Okay. All right. So do we have any questions at this point? Okay. If we have no question at this point, let's go into record keeping. Keep good records is so important for operation. And records include basically production records and financial records. And they're equally important. Production records show day-to-day operation. Farmers are doing so many things in one day, and having the records is our least favorite part that I understand, but it's so important. Either it's for compliance for food safety, or sometimes just looking back to see if you've done, for example, vaccination for all your animals. And it's also a proof, a record you can go back to. But today we're going to concentrate more on the financial record. So why do we need to keep records? Most of farmers keep the record just for tax purposes. Or USDA reporting. This is something I want to make a note on. For example, USDA, the Farmer Service Agency, they provide this natural disaster assistance program. So if you, for example, your cows get struck by lightning, or because the winter has been so cold and you lost a couple of your bee colonies, and that all USDA have a support, financial support for that kind of natural disaster relief. So if you want to stop by FSA, just get to look into that. And they will need records to prove that you have these animals on your farm and such. And then you also serve as a communication tool to your partner or to your manager. And most important thing, that you are able to accurately identify incomes, expenses, determine the cost of production per unit, and know where your profit or loss centers are in the operation. And just start simple. Be consistent. If you're not comfortable with computer system, you're going to buy the software, but you never use it, that's not good. Just start simple. Be consistent is most important, and be disciplined, get assistance, and be enthused. That's probably hard for me, just be enthused to do record keeping. But have something like this. Have it in different categories, either checking, savings, cash receipts, or cash expenses, and just have it in different categories. And how we're gonna keep records. There are two general methods, are the hand system and a computer system. I'm not sure who this is, but could you mute yourself? I think I muted everybody. Hal, can you help me mute everybody?
Yeah, I'll see if I can do that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Hal. So the two general methods are the hand system and a computer system. With the hand system is low initial out of pocket expense for pen or paper, but depending on the type of computer system, it can have a substantial initial out of pocket expense. The hand system is easy to implement by writing down the information to be tracked, whereas a computer system may require a significant amount of studying how to use the computer itself, to studying the functions of the software program. The hand system can be time-consuming from designing the layout of the records. But once you understand how to use the computer program, it will calculate the information on its own. It's fast, it's accurate. So if you're ready to move on or improve from a hand system, it can be a very powerful analysis tool to have a record-keeping software. And then we're going to talk about what are some recommendations for record-keeping systems. I'm not sure if Farm Bureau still have this record-keeping book, but if you're interested, you can check with them. But for computer software, we're recommending as such, for example, using spreadsheet. If you have a very simple, just livestock to local livestock market, that type of operation, that spreadsheet might be just enough for you. Excel spreadsheet. And then QuickBooks. QuickBooks is a double entry accounting software. It can cost $200 and up. And then Quicken is another software. It's a cash accounting software. It costs about $50 and up. And I hear about New Cash. This is what I hear from vegetable growers here in Dickson County. And he told me about this software. It's also a double entry software, very similar to QuickBooks, but it's free. And he told me that it's very easy to use. You don't have to be tech savvy. I haven't tried it myself, but if you're interested, go ahead, try it, and let me know if it worked out for you. So we're just gonna go into some details, some principles into record keeping. You're gonna need to set up accounts. Either as cash flow accounts, checking, savings, credit card or cash account, or investment account, or home and business account, assets, liabilities, receivables, bills, and payables. And then categories. So you're gonna need to set up categories as well that tracks income, expenses, and transfer. And subcategories can further divide categories for better tracking of general expenses. And if you don't know what categories you need for your farm or your business, you can starting off going to Schedule F, that is the tax return schedule for sole proprietorship farms. And you can use it as a guide to create categories. And this is the link to Schedule F. If you haven't seen that before, go ahead, have a look. I'm not going to go into the details, but just have that as the starting line. So couple examples of categories. For example, categories for expenses. Fuel, fertilizer, seed, feed. And for income categories that you can have either income from selling the calves, from selling the cows, or from selling salad greens and all that. And I just want to make a side note into that. So if you are raising livestock or any breeding or working livestock you owned more than 2 years, same with timber, for tax return, it is not reported on Schedule F. It should be on Form 4797. Should be reported as capital gain. And why I mentioned that, because the tax rate for the capital gain is significantly lower than the ordinary income you reported on Schedule F. And a lot of us gonna say, well, it doesn't matter because at the end I'm losing money anyway. But it still make a difference. Sometimes it's a couple $100, sometimes even $1,000 by just doing the right thing. Because you may have a higher deficit or deductible on your total income by moving this into the capital gain, moving into Form 4797. And I'm going to encourage you to check with your accountant to see if they have done your tax properly, if they have an agriculture background, if they know what they're doing. And I have to say that some of our accountants don't know. And when they usually ask us who to go to when for your tax or accounting purposes, go to Farm Bureau. They have tax experts. Then they are updated to any changes. So be sure to check whoever is doing your taxes and check. I'm just going to repeat one more time. If you have any breeding or working livestock you owned more than 2 years, same with timber, that the tax should be reported, the income should be reported on Form 4797. Okay, that's enough for that. And then tag. So what is tag? It specifies where, to whom, or what the transactions apply. Can track income and expenses from different enterprise in the business. Tag example, for example, strawberry, salad greens, tomato, microgreens, or cut flowers. Be able to tag each expense and income so that at the end of a production cycle or at the end of a physical year, you can go back to see, organize the cash flow by tag, and you will see what is the profit center of your operation and which one you need to drop from your operation next year simply because you're losing money from that operation. So be sure, and it's really useful for our value-added producers to know. And if you want to be more specific, you can tag each farmer's market and see where you do the best. It's very useful tool to analysis. Okay, and then I'm just gonna tell you all we're gonna have upcoming record keeping workshop. It's called God Farm Records. Now what? It's a full day record keeping workshop, and it's gonna be available here in Tennessee and Kentucky. We don't have the exact date and time yet, but it will be announced here soon. So what you will learn is to learn using Excel spreadsheet and other tools to evaluate your financial performances. So that means that you've done all the records in your software, whatever software, export it into Excel, and then do all kinds of crazy analysis that you can get some financial information, what you can tell how have been doing. So we're gonna teach about that. So just be sure to check on Center for Profitable Ag. Check on the website and to see if that's gonna be available at your location. Okay, so this is the resources that I've mentioned in my presentation. This is all the links to the TAEP Cost Share Program, to the Enterprise Fund, the Farmer Veteran Fellowship Fund, and this is the online questionnaire for you to figure out which farm structure is right for you. And this is the UT Manage program, the link to that. So I'm the area farm management specialist here in Montgomery County, and I cover about 10, 11 counties here in Tennessee, and we have other specialists covering the rest of the counties here in Tennessee. And the introduction of this program is right here. Find out what we're able to help you. And then other resources, the spreadsheet record keeping sample. So if you're using spreadsheet, Excel, to do your record keeping, these are some examples right here. In understanding federal income tax, like what I mentioned about using the Schedule F and using the correct form to report your capital gain, Penn State University has published a really sourceful information, and it will be available at this link. All right, so do we have any questions? Let's see. Let me just go through the chat box real quick.
I think we've got the questions covered so far.
Okay, great. Okay. One question, did you say that you would email the forms for links? What are you trying to, the links to the last page? Oh, okay. So this presentation and the video we're recording will be available online, and I'll send that. The link will be was in the email I sent to you earlier. But okay, and then okay. All right. If we have no other questions, we hope everybody will join us for next month when we learn about budgeting. And please locate the chat box right now to complete evaluation for our first session. And thank you, and appreciate you being with us here today. And have a great day.